guys. No technical difficulties this week. I'm on time. Yay. Well, hi, Romaine. Glad you're here from Pennsylvania. Wait a few more minutes. We got a few people coming on. I'm really glad you guys are here. Sorry I couldn't do a recorded live last week. I just totally ran out of time. But the good news is at the crafting retreat I was at, I was able to make some cards. I actually made these cards last week. So that's why I was able to get a lot of things done for this one. So I'm a little bit ahead of on my making cards. So that's a good thing. Hopefully I can keep that up. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the door prize. Let me go ahead and I'm going to talk for a little bit. It looks like we still got a few more people to come on. Sometimes it takes a little while for everybody to see that it's gone live. So hope you guys are all doing well. Oh, hi, Marva. Glad you're here. Hope you guys are all doing well. I know some places are getting a ton of rain, especially down in Florida. I saw this morning that in the last 2 days, some places got over 2 feet of rain. That's nuts. I was going to say 2 feet of snow because we've heard of that before, but 2 feet of rain in 2 days is crazy. I think they were still getting more rain. So I hope you guys are doing okay in Florida. Okay, well, we've got a few more people on, so we're going to go ahead and start the door prize stuff right now, and then we'll get started with the class. First off, I do want to tell you one thing really quick. If I can find my little paper. Yes, let me go ahead and switch screens here. And I don't want you to miss out on this really good sale. All bundles that are, oh, Marva, you're welcome. I'm glad you won. She was thanking me for the door prize. This is the sale that's going on right now in June. You've got till June 30th. All of the bundles that are stamp sets and dies are on sale. They're an extra 10% off. Bundles are always at 10% off versus buying the two items individually. But in June, you'll get an extra 10%, so that's 20% off. And you will get, it's all of the bundles that are stamp sets and dies. And that's this bundle I'm using today is one of those. And also in the last video, those of you who watched my Layers of Beauty, that bundle, it had the stamps, the dies, and the masks. I wasn't sure if those were going to be on the 10% off sale, but they are. I thought they probably were, but with the added masks, I wasn't sure. But those are on 10% off, an extra 10% off too. And if you've been wanting to get our either one of our die cutting machines, you want to get that this month because you get a 10% off. And that's for the standard cutting machine, which you'll see here in a minute. And we've also have our mini, and it comes in white and boho blue. And both of those are 10% off also. So I just want to let you know about that. I didn't want you to miss out on that. Okay, so let's start with door prizes. Hi, Crystal. Okay. Oh, hi, Betty. I just looked up and saw your name. Hi, Jamie. Good. I went ahead and talked about the sale, and I thought more people would come on as I was talking. Okay, now I'm going to start with the door prize. The way this works, I'll go ahead and pop this up quick. If you live in the United States and do want to be part of my door prize drawing, can't talk tonight, this is going to be fun. Make sure that you do hashtag door prize as a comment. Look at that screen and type it in exactly the way it says right there, hashtag door prize. You have to type it in that way because I've got a program in my live stream software that will pick the winner. So it's got to be typed in just right. So do hashtag door prize, all one word, all small letters, no spaces, just like Romaine did. If you watch on YouTube, you can see hers. I don't know if anybody on Facebook has done it yet, but you just do it just like it shows there on the screen and you'll get put in the drawing. So it's everybody lives in the United States and wants to be in on the door prize. Okay, this was last week's. Let me see if I can get that. You know what? I'm going to take the ticker down. And that's going to make it so we have a little more room. There we go. So here is, these are brand new. These are the Smoky Slate and Basic Gray and Smoky Slate pearls. You can see they're darker ones and lighter ones. I'm not going to open this up, but they're the light ones and the dark ones up here in the small version, and these are the big version. So this is everybody that commented during the live and the replay and did hashtag door prize got put in this drawing. So I'm going to bring up my little prize wheel here. And let's see who's going to win. So this was everybody that did hashtag door prize 2 weeks ago in the live and the replay. Trying to find my Post-it notes. Oh, Christy, I think that is the first time you've worked with your hook line. I'm going to put your name down. Congratulations. And I don't think I have your address. I know you live here close to me in Indianapolis, but I don't think you've won before. So make sure that you let's see, you usually watch on YouTube, I do believe. Make sure that you click, let me go to me real quick. Make sure you click the contact me link down below in the video description, and that way you can give me your email, your mailing address, because I don't think I've got that. You've emailed me before though, so you probably already have my email. Okay, a couple things I need to do here. Okay, now things should be working a little better. Whenever I have to share a screen, things really lag, but it should be working really good now. Oh, hi, Trina. I just saw your name pop up. She was one of the ladies that was at the crafting retreat I was at last week. Let's see, who else do we have on here? I always said hi to Betty and Jamie. Oh, hi, Joni. Haven't seen you for a long time. Glad you're here. And Patty, glad you're here again. And Myra. Oh, hi, Pat. Okay. Oh, Crystal, did you get your boho mini machine? I really like mine. It's a really pretty blue. I like that one a lot. Okay, so I've got that taken care of. So that was for last week. So I put that to the side. Now we're going to talk about this week's. I've brought out two retired. Let me get my post-it notes. I got to get back in order here. Got my post-it notes put away. I got my retired. My goodness, this is going to be a long night, guys. I knew I was tired, but now I can't think of words I want to say. Okay, I've got embellishments that retired. This one actually retired a while ago. Let me hurry up and show you real quick. Let me switch screens. These are called, I can't remember what they're called, Adhesive-Backed studs. So this was part of a, I thought in honor of Father's Day being this week, everybody that comments during the live here tonight, the hashtag door prize that lives in the United States will get put in the drawing for this, and I'll announce the winner for this one at the end of the video. So, like I said, if you live in the United States and want to be part of the door prize drawing, do that hashtag door prize that you see there on the screen. And then everybody that's doing that here during the live and everybody that watches the replay, I know some people just can't make it live. I want to make sure you guys get in on this too. So if you live in the United States watching the replay, make sure you do that hashtag door prize, and I'll put you in the drawing for this, and I'll announce that winner in next week's live at the beginning. Okay, so we are done with the door prize. So I'm going to go ahead and take that down. I will remind you again in a little bit. If you've, and a lot of you have already done your hashtag door prize, you're good. So I'll remind those of you that come in late. Okay, I'm going to put the ticker back up. Hide that. There we go. I really had fun making these. Let me see if I can find. There we go. The Country Birdhouse. When I saw that bundle, I knew I had to get it. That was one of the first things I wanted to get when I looked in the new catalog. So I was dying to use this one as a class. So if you place a $40 order using the hashtag that you'll see here in the ticker, and I also put that up on the screen. Well, I'll go ahead and do that now. And I made sure they're both the same. There a couple weeks ago, I had two different host codes showing, but these are the same ones. That host code you see, placing a $40 order, you will get these 3 card kits to make 2 each of the 3 cards I'm making here tonight. If you bump it up to a $50 order using that same host code, then you'll also get these new gems. These are called Adhesive-Backed Metallic Gems. They come in copper, light gold, and silver, and they're 2 different sizes. You'll see all of them here tonight because I'm using each color and size on the 3 cards here tonight. Now, the suite that the suite that the bundle comes from and the paper the DSP I'm using, and DSP is Designer Series paper for those of you that are new to the Stampin' Up jargon, is part of the, let me think of the name, Country Wood suite. And there are, actually, the pearls that Christy won, these right here, are part of that suite. But I did the Country Flowers bundle a few weeks ago, and these were the embellishments I gave away then. And I thought I need to come up with another embellishment because a lot of you got those. I didn't want you to have to get 2 of the same thing. So these look really good with this bundle also. So that's if you want to see the whole suite, it's called Country Woods, and it's got the 2 bundles. It's got 2 DSP packs, the pearls I just showed you, and the eyelet 3D embossing folder. I'm using that here tonight too, so you'll get to see that. It's a little hard to tell what it looks like looking at the folder, but you'll see it really good when I show you the cardstock. And I do all of the embossing for you, and any die cutting that needs to be done that's not part of the bundle. Now, with the birdhouse die cuts and things like that, that you'll have to do on your own, because I'll give you the paper for it, but you'll have to do the die cutting on your own, and you can always substitute with another bundle or stamp set that you have on hand. Oh, Patty, did you just get your Country Birdhouse? Well, good. Yeah, it's a really neat bundle. I like it a lot. Okay. Oh, hi, Carol from Canada. Glad you're here. Okay, I'm going to put these to the side. Oh, and also I want to let you know, if you do a $150 order or more before shipping and tax, don't use that host code. You will still get all of this, and you'll get Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up. I always want to make sure I tell you that, because I don't want you to miss out on getting Stampin' Rewards yourself. But if it's under $150, make sure you use that host code, because that has to be used, because I use the Stampin' Rewards to be able to get you all those embellishments free and things like that. So that's why I ask you to do the host code. Okay, let's get started. Card number 1. This one's got a lot of blues in it. The first two are similar. They both have petal pink. The next one, the color combo is totally different than the others. So I think you're going to like it. Okay, see. Now you're going to see I've got some things die cut. With me having these cards done, I actually did my reels for this today, so I already did some die cutting. And I didn't want you to have to sit and watch me die cut. So let me grab, I haven't shown you the bundle. I got to show you that first. So here's the bundle. Oh, hi, Cindy from North Dakota. I'm glad you got to come back this week. Now, this is the bundle. And like I said, this is one of the bundles. There are quite a few that are on sale. Anything that has the stamp set and die set in the bundle is an extra 10% off. So you'll be saving 20% off versus buying these separately. That's what the 10% off is for the bundles. If you buy these separately, you're going to pay more. But if you do the bundle, you save 10%. But the stamp set and dies bundles are an extra 10% off this month. So make sure you get those. Oh, thanks, Cindy, for sharing. I really appreciate that a lot. Okay, so that's the bundle. And I'm going to be showing you on 2 of the birdhouses, including this one. I'm only using the dies. On the second one, I'm going to be showing you how to use the stamp and how to color that in with blends. It's a lot of fun. And there's even this really neat, you wouldn't think I'd be excited about this, but this little wood grain, I'm going to be using that in the second card. It really makes it look neat when you stamp it. So I think you're going to like that a lot. So I'll go ahead and put these to the side. But this piece, I always want to tell you the sizes. This is from the Country Woods, and it is a 6 3/4 by 2 3/4 inch piece, because that does both of your birdhouse. Oh, I'm sorry, 7 by 4. I looked at the wrong size. So this is a 7 by 4, and I was able to get both of the birdhouses out of this for the 2 cards. So if you're only making 1 card, it's 3.5 by 4. But this was the die. So when you go to put it through your die cutting machine, it just fits this way. You've got more room this way, but this way it just fits. I wanted to keep it to 4 inches. That way I'd be able to cut more pieces out of that 12 by 12 for the card kits. So that's how you get the 2. Make sure the grains are going up and down. If I give you one where they're going a different direction, I'll make sure it's longer. That way you can do it this way and get the wood grains right, because I think it looks a little better when the wood grains are going up and down. And then this piece is the other wood, country wood piece I used. For 1 card, you only need 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. This one's a 6 3/4 by 2 3/4. And what I did, I took this one. That's the one that goes here. I made sure that I'll make sure the boards are going this way, because I think it looks better with this piece. This is the base piece. So you'll be able to get both of them out of that sheet. And if you get the card kit, it's a little faster for me to show you this way than you have to watch me die cut. I wanted to show you how I got it placed. Now this one, I accidentally cut the wrong one, but that's okay. This is what they're both going to look like when you do yours. So it's just this one, and you take the extra thin die here, and that's the one that goes this way. So you'll have enough. This one is a 5.5 by 2 3/4. But if you're just doing one, I just did it from a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 square piece. But this is early espresso. And then the flowers, that's pretty self-explanatory. That is big enough. This is a petal pink that is 5 by 1 3/4. And you just use every single one of these type flowers. This one and this one, this one, this one, and this one. So anything that's got embossing to it, those are the ones that you're going to want to grab. So you're going to do 5 for 1 card. And then if you do the second card, you do 5 for the other. So just 1 each of those 5 dies. This, are the 4 leaves. So I'm not going to bother to show you how I placed it on here, but you'll be able to get the 2 out of that piece. This is Mossy Meadow. That's a 3 by 2.5. And last but not least for the die cutting is a piece of Misty Moonlight that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, just a square. And I use the scallop. So you can do this and then you just come down and do your second one like that. So that is how all the die cutting was done. Let me get all those out of the way. Those are some big pieces. Okay, I want to make sure you saw how I did that. I'm going to grab my card base. Oh, Robin, you're fine. You haven't missed anything. I just started. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Pat, Cindy was telling you. Oh, yeah, make sure you spell door prize right with a S. Let's see. Yeah, door prize. No, I mean, sorry, Z. My goodness. Pat's right. Do the Z. That way you get it, because I don't want you to miss out. And thanks, Pat, for catching that. You want to type it in just right, because there are times I'll just do it with an S and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. That way you get put in on that drawing, because you want to make sure it's spelled just right. Thanks for helping out, Pat. I totally missed that. Okay, so that was the regular card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. So I folded that in half. Now I got to show you this beautiful piece that was done with that eyelet folder I just showed you a minute ago. You can see it a lot better. Isn't that neat? This is a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of petal pink. So this will be embossed for you in the kit. And then a piece of the country lace. So this is the other DSP. I showed you the country woods one. This one's country lace. This one is 1.5 by 5.25. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. I'm going to put some seal on here. Whenever I say seal, it's our Stampin' Seal. It's the full name of it. This is our adhesive. You could also use multi-purpose glue if you like that better, but I always like using this. I'm going to put this right along the left edge of the petal pink piece. And it looks like I might have cut the DSP a little too long. I sure did. So I'm going to turn that over. Put my scissors right up against that cardstock, and then I can cut that off straight. Okay. And now, what else do I want to do? I think I want to, I do want to start working on the birdhouse. So let's go ahead and put this to the side. I don't want to put this on just yet, because I'm going to be cutting something off here in just a minute. So I'm going to grab, where did my pieces go? Oh, there we go. This was the piece. Oh, and I also forgot to tell you this. To get the little opening for the birdhouse, I use this. So you just center it. I had the top of the circle about even with the bottom of the roof, and then center it left and right. And that's how I die cut that out. And you can actually, I did it 2 separate times, but you could actually put this down and put this down. And I took some of my Post-it tape to hold that in place. Well, hi, Michelle. Glad you're here. And Jeanne, I don't think I said hi to Jeanne yet. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. I want to make sure I told you which die to use for that center. You got to have an opening. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. And I'm going to put some seal. If I can get this going again. I'm just about out of seal, but I grabbed a refill just in case I run out. So I'm putting seal right around the edges of that opening. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece. This is a 1 1/4 square of early espresso. I'm just going to cover that hole up like that. And now, because you got to have it looking dark on the inside. Because unless there's electricity for the bird. But it's usually dark in there. So I'm going to grab that roof. Where did I put my silicone mat? I find it's easier to use multi-purpose glue. Let's see. Oh, Cindy, you love the birdhouse? It was the first bundle you wanted to buy. Same here. I was the same way when I saw this. I thought, oh, I got to have it. Okay, so this is the side I want to show. And whenever I put little lure pieces on here, I always like to use my multi-purpose glue more than this. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. I'm just going to put a thin strip right across this. Okay, so it's real thin. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a real thin string of the glue. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in here. Oh, hi, Paula. And I'm going to put this right on here. And being glue and it's still wet, I can scoot this around if I need to, because I can tell I didn't line up quite right there. There we go. So it has a little give to it using that glue. Then when you're done, put that pressure on there, and then it will not move anymore. But while it's still a little wet, you're able to scoot it a little bit. Now, I learned this one the hard way. Let me grab both of these. These are the other two pieces for the roof. I had originally done this and then put this on, and it didn't look right. The bottom part did not line up. I don't know if you can see here there's little bitty grooves right here. And I thought, oh, that doesn't look right. So what you do, you actually put the scallop on first. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So put the main roof on, then the scallop. I had to throw away my first birdhouse last week when I made this because it didn't look right. But that's what I'm here for. Teach it. Make sure you don't make the boo-boos I make. Okay, then I'll put this. I'm scooting it so I can get it right up against the bottom of that roof. And it's lining up with those little grooves there. Okay. Now this one I'm going to turn over, and this one's going to take real thin. I might even just put a few dots. Well, no, it's going pretty good. But you can put dots on too. If you get too much, that's why I always use my silicone mat. I can dab some of it off and have it go on the silicone mat. I think I did pretty good. Bring this around. I'll probably get glue on me. But now I'm going to line this up with the bottom edge. It's actually going on top of that scallop, but right up against that main roof. And once again, with being glue, I can kind of move it around a little bit. And then when I like where it's at, then I push it down. So there we go. So that's what the roof looks like. And last but not least, we've got the bottom part here. Oh, hi, Gladys. You are fine. This is the first card, so you haven't missed much at all. Oh, thanks, Jan. Jan was reminding everybody to give me a thumbs up. That always helps. Don't really understand it all, but with YouTube and Facebook, whenever you do likes and things like that, they start sharing your videos more. But only do it if you like it. You don't have to. I do appreciate it when you do. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here too. But thanks for reminding them, Jan. Now, this is going to go right along here. Now, isn't this looking more like a really neat birdhouse? Before I started putting all these other pieces on, it looked a little funny, didn't it? There we go. And that one wood piece doesn't look real great until you add the others. It really looks like a cute birdhouse now. Okay, now let's see, what do I want to do? I think I want to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start putting flowers together. So let's put this over here. I've got all my little flowers. Let's get these out. The neat thing with this, it's more than just embossing on these here, the rounded ones. You could even pop these up a little bit if you wanted to, because they kind of cut, so you can have a little bit of a dimension to them. I usually don't mess with that, but sometimes it actually does it on its own when you start putting them together. So that is what all of those flower dies look like. There's even a half one. I went ahead and did that one too. And then these are what all 4 of those leaf dies in the set are. Let me get hold of all these. This is out of that Mossy Meadow piece I showed you here a little bit ago. And this one. I decided to use, for the big flower, I'm going to use this one here. And I think it's easier. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this, like a V. These 2 petals right next to each other, kind of squishing the glue down so it's not too thick. I'm going to bring this down here. Oops. And I'm going to put my fingers on the opposite end so that way I remember which 2 I've got the glue on. I learned that the hard way because I kept turning it over and over again until I figured that out. And this is just going to go on like so. Hold it down for a few seconds. And I've got my leaves on that one. This one here, there's one that has a little bit of a longer stem. I'm going to use that one for this one. So I'm going to do the same thing again. This time I'm going to do a little V on the couple petals. And then I'm going to put it so you can't see that stem at all. The leaves kind of be a little smaller just because this flower is not that big. So I just have it out like that. Now you see the stem a little bit. So I'm going to grab my paper snips and cut that off that's showing. There we go. Oh, thanks, Romaine. I'm glad you liked the paper. Oh, hi, Karen. I didn't see you earlier. Thanks. I love these birdhouses are so much fun to make. I'm glad you like it. Okay, now I've got 2 more leaves. I'm not going to do a leaf on this half flower, just on these. So once again, I'm just going to do that little bit of glue. The nice thing about having this, our silicone craft mat, or craft sheet, I think is what it's called. I've got a little glue here. I can take that off after it dries and peel it off and throw it away. Can't do that here on the glass mat. You can clean it off, but it's a lot easier to get it off of here. Hold that down here. And I don't have to worry about this glue that just came on there. I don't have to worry about this sticking on. It comes right back off again, which is nice. I use this craft mat all the time when I use glue. I use it with my seal sometimes too if I'm using it on a small piece. Once again, we've got that stem showing too much. Get that cut off. Oop, it's sticking to my scissors. And last but not least, I think it's easier to put the leaves on before you start putting it on the birdhouse. Now this birdhouse isn't going to have a bird, just the flowers. But don't worry, that cute bird's going to be on the last 2 cards. I had to use them on the others. Make sure I did that right. Yep. Once again, it's had that leaf showing over here. I always put that pressure down. Whenever I didn't used to put enough pressure on it, and it kept coming off with that glue. But as soon as you just hold it down for a few seconds with that pressure, it soaks in really good and sticks really good. Okay, so all of those flowers are ready. These are dry already, so I'm going to go ahead and peel that off because I don't want it getting stuck on my birdhouse. That's all clean and ready to go. And then I'm going to go ahead and start putting these on. You could use glue dots too if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing the glue since I've got it out. I'm not going to go all the way to the end of the leaves because they're going to be hanging off just a little bit. And this is going to go on about right here. Hold that down for a few seconds. Now I'm going to grab, let's see, I think I'm going to grab this other rounded one. It looks a lot like that, the smaller one. Really doesn't matter. Either one of those small ones will work. Some on here. And I'm going to have this one go over the big one just a little bit. Have my leaf go up. And then I'm going to grab this half one. And you don't have to use this half one. I went back and forth whether I was going to use it or not. I decided to fill in a little bit more of this area. So I'm going to go underneath that flower just a little bit. Hold that down. I'm going to grab the last small one. Get some glue on it. Ooh, I got a little too much. Let me tap that off. Okay. I think that, oh no, I want this one to go this way. Good thing I didn't push down too hard. There we go. Because we need some leaves down here. Last but not least, is this the last big one? Or bigger, they're not there. None of them are very big. And this one will go right here. Hold that down for a little bit. And the birdhouse is almost done. We'll put the bling on here in a minute. I think it's a little easier to put it on once it's on the card. Oh, thanks, Becky, for sharing. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Now I'll bring in this again. I'm only going to use this one. I'm going to turn this over because I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. So let me find those. I'm going to put one here on each end down here at the bottom, but I'm not going to put one right here because the post that I die cut is going to tuck underneath this a little bit. So I don't want that dimensional getting in the way. Put one up here at the top. A couple here. I think I am going to put a couple here in the middle. I'm going to go up a little bit. And then maybe one right there. That should do a good job. Get my take your pick tool. And I always put my paper piercer in at an angle and then just scoop those backings off. That way they're all collected in one place. I can take them off and throw them away. Now I'm going to put this centered left and right, but more to the top. I'm going to leave a little space at the top. That looks pretty. I'm just going to lay it down before I push it down. That looks pretty good. So go ahead and do this. Now I'm going to bring in my silicone mat again. Have this turned over and put my glue. Oh, there it is. I'm going to go down a little farther than I know I need to because I want to make sure that the bottom of this does not come up because I am going to cut off the very bottom because it's a little too long for the card. I'm just putting a little bit on the little swirl work on there. There's a little too much there. Take that off. There. Bring this in. I'm going to tuck it in just a little bit. Try to get it right in the center though. Okay, oops, I moved it a little bit. That's not too bad. That looks pretty straight. So now I'm going to push that down. So I just put the very tip top underneath. I want most of that scroll work to show up. And I can turn this over and cut that off. And that's a lot easier to do before you put it on the card. So that's why I waited to do that. Sometimes I forget to do that and you can still get it cut, but it's a lot easier to do it before you put it on the card. So go ahead and put my seal on here. Grab my card base, put this right in the middle. I love Misty Moonlight and Petal Pink together. Looks so pretty. Oh, thanks, Romaine. I'm glad you're liking the colors. I was just bringing those up. Okay. Oh, thanks, Myra. I'm glad you're liking the birdhouse. Okay, I'm almost done. Oh, yes. I need to grab, I forgot to stamp something. We've got a greeting. There's not much to stamp with this card. This is a piece of basic beige. It's 2 by 3/4 inches. I'm going to grab the Hello Friend. And just in case you were wondering, all of the, I'm going to move these door prizes out of the way. Every sentiment I'm using, all the stamps are from this bundle. I'm not doing a bunch of different bundles. I want to show you what you can do with just this one Country Birdhouse. So I'm going to grab, oops, I'm Misty Moonlight. Almost grabbed the wrong color. I love our basic beige, and you're going to see me use this a lot tonight. I'm going to stamp it here on the right side. Like it being photopolymer because we can see right where we're stamping. Oh, thanks, Crystal. Now, all the colors that I've picked up. Oh, and hi, Debbie. Thanks. I'm glad you like it too. And Gladys, thanks. Okay, so this is, you want to do it on the right side because what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my scissors. Where did I put them? There we go. And you guys have seen me do this before. I'm just going to cut that at an angle because I don't want that plain old straight end on there. I'm going to put some seal on here. And I'm going to put this down here. It's going to go just a little bit above the bottom of the petal pink, but I'm lining the right edges together and putting that there. So it's just going to cover up the scroll work just a little bit. I want to make sure I got a greeting on there. I want to have to take the sticker down. Let me put that down. There we go. That makes it so you can see more. I'm sorry about that. I didn't look up and see that. I usually try to get that off when I start making the card. Okay, so this is ready, except we need to put bling on it. Oh, and I need to do the inside of the card too, don't I? So this class, there are 3 different colors. So I made sure I used one of, each card has a different color. I'm going to do the copper ones. When I put them on, the copper ones on, they almost start looking like they're petal pink, which is kind of cool, I think. And there we go. I'm on the 2 larger flowers. I'm going to grab the large gems. Now, one thing with these gems, we've had metallic gems before and they were a little bit bulky. These aren't as bulky. They're little, they don't come up as high. So I think you can mail them with no problem. And they're nice and flat. Because like I said, we have had metallic ones before and they were just a little bit too thick, I thought, for mailing. And these are a lot nicer. I really, really, really like these a lot. Now I'm going to use the small copper ones and put them here. So these are also in the annual catalog, but if the easiest way to find it, just go to the online store and up in the search engine, type in metallic gems and you'll find them. So there we go. But like I said, if you do that $50 order before shipping and tax, you'll get a full pack of these with the card kits. Okay, so that front is actually done. I did forget to do the inside, and I wanted to do, since this was done with basic beige, I want to do basic beige for the inside. So this is a 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to grab my Misty Moonlight again. This is actually the only ink pad I used for this card. And, oh, there we go. This flower here, this is one of the flowers in the set. And I think I'll do it that way. I could do more, but I thought that's good enough for the inside. That way I've got plenty of room to write a greeting in there. Go ahead and get this out of the way. some adhesive on here. Put this on the inside, and the first card's going to be done. Yeah, Michelle was saying those gems really make the flowers pop, and they really do. They looked kind of plain, and then when I put those on, when I made this last week, I'm like, oh, that just tops them off. It really makes them special, and it makes the whole thing pop, actually. I like the way it looks on the birdhouse, too. So that is the first card. It didn't take too long. I did do the die cutting ahead of time, but I really liked, got to do bling, don't we, Patty? I love bling. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. Bring in this one. Oh, I'm going to clean this off a little bit. I got some glue on here. Oh, I have good news speaking of this. Any of you demonstrators that are watching, you already know this. Demonstrators are able to buy this Glass Mat Studio again. The Glass Mat Studio comes with this mat, and it also comes with this. And you've seen me use this before. This is a chamois that comes with it, and it makes it so I can clean things off really easy while I'm working, including ink. I've even had Stampin' Blends on here and been able to take it off with this. And this is really neat to make uses for watercoloring. I put a couple drops of ink refills in it and a couple drops of water, and I have a nice little palette for watercoloring. So this is $60. So demonstrators can get it now. And I think it's either July 2nd or July 3rd that customers can start buying this. So it's not just going to be for demos. They're giving some demos a chance to get it first. That's the nice thing about being demonstrators. We get to get things first. But customers can start getting this next month in July. So I want to let you know that. Hopefully they'll stay on the shelves for a little bit. I have a funny feeling they're going to sell really quick. I know a lot of you have been waiting on this, so I want to make sure you knew. Okay. Oh, Crystal, you got yours today? Good. Because I knew you were wanting to get one. Okay, now one thing I do want to tell you, let me see if I can grab one of the kits that will get in the mail. I did double the amount of the ribbon that you need for one card. That way, when you get your card kit, you're going to take the ribbons, fold them in half, and cut them in half, okay? You're going to do the same thing with this one and the white one I've got on the next card. But since I did my reels today, I already used half the ribbon, and I didn't want to waste this ribbon, so I've already got mine cut. This is a 7-inch piece, and this is I can't remember. I think it's a 4-inch. Yeah, 4-inch piece. So in your actual kit, you'll get a 14-inch piece and an 8-inch piece. Just make sure you cut them in half. So this is from the Petal Pink and White Diagonal Trim Combo Pack. This is part of the Country Woods suite. The ribbon was out of stock for a long time, but it came back. First time I noticed it was today. It might have come back yesterday, either yesterday or today. So that is available to purchase again. Really neat ribbon. Oh, thanks, Crystal, the 3rd. I was thinking it was the 3rd, but I would start second guess myself. Okay. Now, once again, this is a half sheet of basic beige, and that's what everybody will get in the kit, so you'll be able to do all your stamping on here. I'll go ahead and show you how I stamped it. And now the birdhouse I've already done ahead of time, colored and everything. That way you didn't have to sit and watch me color it, but I will color half of it. That way you get an idea how I did it. But I think the blends look a little different on the basic beige, but it looks really good for the look I'm going for. So I was really happy how it turned out. So I'm going to grab, this is just an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece. If you're just doing one, you just need a 4.25 by 5.5 inch piece of the basic beige. I'm going to grab the big birdhouse. And this is Early Espresso. Whenever it's a big stamp, any stamp that's bigger than the ink pad, I will turn the stamp over and then bring the ink pad to it. Our ink pads are raised, so it makes it so the plastic doesn't get in the way when you have to ink something that's bigger. Oh, hi, Anne. Glad you're here. So I'm going to stamp this. So this is going to give you plenty of cardstock. So you'll even probably have a little bit left over if you get the card kit. So that's how that gets stamped. Then I'm going to keep that Early Espresso out. I need to do the bird. I promised you the bird, and we're going to do him. So take this. I'm going to stamp him near the top. It really doesn't matter. I do want to have some space because I want to go die cutting that here in a minute. Then I'm going to do both flowers. So I'll do this one here. There are 2 flower stamps. Now this one I need to clean because I used Misty Moonlight on it just a minute ago. Oh, and you are fine. Don't worry about it. You just missed the first card and you can always watch the replay. This is the second one, so you're good. Now I'm going to stamp this over here. Okay. Now the inside of the card, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to stamp it. I've already got one done for me. That way you don't have to sit and, oh, take that back, white. No, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. This is the front of the piece. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece. This is that basic beige again. So we'll go ahead and get the front base done. I'm using the Hoping You Have the Best Day Ever. You got to do that stop and best day ever because they've got periods after each one. I'm going to stamp that in the top right corner with the Early Espresso ink. There we go. And now I'm going to grab my basic beige. I'll close this for a minute. I'll need it back here in a second. I'll do my basic beige because I want to put we've got a splatter stamp in here. And I didn't want to use the Early Espresso. It'd be way too dark. So I'm just going to stamp. So I'm using the same color as the cardstock and kind of leaving a space, kind of turning it in different directions. I only need to do the top half, but I'm going to go a little bit below just so I don't have an empty space. I think I need a little something right there. There we go. That looks pretty good. And this will lighten up. When I first did, I'm like, ooh, that might be a little too dark, but then it lightened up. But that splatter just looks really good when she put this all together. So that is ready to go. Put that to the side. Now I want to do the inside of the card. Go ahead and close this. This time I still wanted that birdhouse on there, but it is so big. I'm only going to stamp part of it. So I'm going to get it inked up again with Early Espresso. And I'm going to stamp a little more than half. I still kind of wanted to see the top point of the roof. So just have it's close to the edge. I didn't really like it just exactly half. I wanted to show a little bit more of that roof, so I moved it over to the left just a little bit. There we go. So that's the inside, and then that gets colored. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. I almost forgot. Remember that that wood grain stamp I was telling you about? I do not want to forget that because this looks kind of plain, doesn't it? We need to add some wood grain. So if you look at this, it's got a little knot in it. You know, the wood knots you see in wood grains. I kind of liked it at the top. You can do whichever way you want. I'm stamping one there. And I'm going to stamp here in the top left of that base piece. Okay, and I'm going to do that here on this one also. This one's going to be at the bottom part. I'm going to do another one over here, but kind of put it up a little higher. Do this one here. And I thought it needed another one right here. Okay, so now we've got a little wood grain in that, which is going to look, it looks a little funny right now, but it's going to look really good when I start coloring it in. Okay, do you believe, yep, that is all the stamping for this card. And I'm only going to do a little bit of the coloring. I will color the birds and all that completely because it's pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my petal pink. This is the dark petal pink. And I decided to do the top roof here just in the dark pink. If you want to do light and dark, I would probably do maybe I don't know, maybe the bottom part with the dark and then do lighter on the top. I was fine with it being all one shade. So I'm just going to do this roof part with a dark petal pink. This part doesn't take long to color, so I'll just hurry up and do the roof quick. Now that looks totally different than what petal pink normally looks, but it looks really good once you get it all done. Now with the flowers, I want them to be petal pink, so I'm just doing the bottom part. And it actually starts looking more petal pink after it dries, which was a little strange. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this on the beige, and it ends up looking really good when you're done. Now these centered petals that are a little smaller, those are the ones I'm going to do the dark. And I'm not going to worry about doing that flower center. If you end up getting coloring it a little bit, that's okay. We're going to cover that up with one of those gems here in a little bit. So I'm done with the dark petal pink. Grab the light. Now the light one, to me, when you first start using it, it looks like it's just wetting the cardstock. It really doesn't look petal pink, but then after it dries, you really can see what it is. So I'm kind of going over the dark just a little bit to blend them together. But it's kind of neat. After it dries, it really does start to look pink again. But after it dries, if you're thinking, oh, it still doesn't look quite pink enough, you can add some more of the dark. Because see, I don't know if you can tell the dark is actually starting to look pink, more pink. Like this looks a lot brighter pink to me, the roof does, than it did when I first got done with it. So we'll see how that goes. So that's that. Because right now, it really does look like this is just almost like a watermark, but it's going to start pink and turning pink here a little bit. I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow. I'm going to take the dark Mossy Meadow and color the base of these leaves like so. Now the Mossy Meadow shows up really good. It's a dark color. So I'm going to do a little bit at the base of this one too. Then take the light Mossy Meadow, color in the rest of the leaves. And let's do these over here. And I'm going to go back over them here in a minute because I can tell, looking over at this one, the shades are just a little bit, I'm getting out of the lines a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it because when it die cuts, you can't really tell. But that dark and light is too much of a difference. So I'm going to go where the two meet again, the two shades meet, blend those together, and it'll look a little more natural. There we go. Oh, thanks, Jan. I like that added wood grain too. It's pretty cool. Oh, hi, Al. I see. Oh, you want to make sure, I think this is Al. Al Jessup, make sure you do hashtag door prize, all one word, all small letters. Here, that way, let me hurry up and pop that up real quick. Oops, I thought I did it? There we go. You want to type it just like that because the machine that does it here at the end of the video will only look at the ones that are typed in just right. So make sure you type it in just like you're seeing there on the screen. So it's hashtag door prize. So you can see how some other people have commented too. I just saw that pop up. I want to make sure you knew. Okay, I'm going to bring the host code back up again. Okay, now I've got that all colored in. I'm glad you're here, Al. Okay, now I'm going to grab Pool Party. Both of my birds for this class are Pool Party. I could have done another color maybe on the second one, but I really liked how the Pool Party looked on it, so I'd like bluebirds. Actually, cardinals are probably my favorite, but this guy doesn't look like a cardinal, so we're going to go blue. So kind of where these lines are, not all of them, I'm using my dark Pool Party. And I'm going to put a little bit under the wing right here. That way it looks like there's a little bit of a shadow, okay? Now I'll take the light Pool Party. Perfect, Gladys, you got it. Okay. Oh, hi, Michelle Eaton. I'm glad you're here. It said your last name because we have another Michelle on here. I'm going over it with my light Pool Party. And this is another one where it will brighten up, the blue will brighten up a little more after it dries. Go ahead. I'm coloring over the dark with the light so they blend together. Okay. And I'm going to go over this again because I can tell it's a little bit too drastic of a change. You want to get those blended in really nice. I'm going to kind of leave the head a little bit lighter so it looks like the sun's on it. There we go. That looks pretty good. And I don't know if you can tell, but the pinks are now looking pink, aren't they? They don't have that wet beige look. So once they dry, they really brighten up and it really looks like pink now. I did not know it would do that until until I made this card last week. I was like, ooh, that's cool. Okay, I'm going to take my dark Pool Party again. I forgot about that. And the scallops on the roof, I want to do Pool Party. I'm going to just do a little bit of dark right underneath the roof line because there should be some shading there. So just right along the top of that scallop. You know what? That's all I'll do right there. It's like I said, I've got one all colored, all ready to go. Because this part takes a little longer. It doesn't take too long, but if you're sitting there watching the video, it would get kind of boring. So that's why I went ahead and did one ahead of time. So now I'm going over, I'm coloring the whole scallop with the light Pool Party to get those shades to blend. That's one thing. Some of these, I like about those last two. I will cover this later and make a full card another time. And I'm going back over again to get those blended because I could tell when they dried, they weren't blended very well. So pretend like all those scallops are colored in. Now I'm going to show you how to do the birdhouse. I'm only going to color half. This half is what you're going to do most of the special things I'm going to show you. I'm going to take my pecan pie. I'm taking the dark pecan pie first. Oh, hi, Randy. Glad you're here. Just saw you pop up hashtag door prize. Now I'm going to take the dark pecan pie, and I'm just going right along the bottom edge of this scallop. Like I said, I'm just going to do half of it this time, and I'll show you the full thing when I'm done. And I wanted the wood grain to look a little darker. So where the knot is at, I'm going to color that in, and I'm just going to kind of scribble a little bit, kind of go along the lines. It's okay if I colored in a little more, but if I've got a little, like little spaces that aren't colored, that's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one over on this side. First time I did it, I kind of colored the whole thing in. I think it looks a little better having a little bit of, well, beige space. It's not really white space. Now I'm going to still take the dark. I'm going to color around this opening. I'm going to have some shading on this side. Just stop at the halfway point. And this part over here, I'm going to make a little bit thicker. I want the ends to be a little narrower. And I'm going to do the same thing with this little guy. This is probably where you could put a peg if you were making a 3D birdhouse. Okay, so that's all I do with the dark pecan pie. Take the light, and I'm going to go over all of this, and you're going to see that there's a big difference between those shades. Don't worry, I'm going to come back and fix it. But now you're going to see why I'm only doing half of it, because this does take a little brush work to get all of this colored in. Like I said, this side, you're not going to have to worry about doing any shading around the circle. So that's why I decided to do the left side, so I could show you give you my little tips for that. And then do the same thing down here. I'm going to do half of it. You can see, like I said, where I did the dark, there's a big difference. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to color over the dark with my light pecan pie and just keep doing it until it's blended. See how that blended? And I'm going to do this little part that I did the circle, and I'm using circle brush strokes, curved brush strokes, so it kind of goes along with this. Same with this one. And then I'm going to go over that little wood grain piece. And same here. As you can tell, I'm not coloring the whole thing over again with the light, because I kind of liked having little light spaces. You know, with wood, it starts getting that worn look. So I'm intentionally leaving some places a little lighter. And then if I still see too much of a dark, I can add some more and blend it some more. But I think that looks pretty good. So I've got a little bit of a dark. It looks like I might have taken a little too much dark away from here. So I'm going to add a little bit more here again. That looks good. There we go. The light was still a little wet, so I don't think I need to blend it again. Oops. Make sure you get your lids on. That one popped off. You want to make sure they're good. When you hear that click, you know you've got them on good. That keeps them from drying out. Now, I wanted some darker brown for this. So these are the deep, let me think of the name here, deep combo pack. They're Stampin' blends. We've got, they're on a different page. I can't remember. They're neutrals. And we've got like light, medium, medium deep, and deep. So these are the two darkest. So these are the deep combo. I'm going to take the darkest one here. This is all for like skin colors and different things like that. Nice. I've got all of them. I'm just going to take a little bit here like I did on the inside though. And I'm going to make this a little bit wider here in the middle. That looks pretty good. So now it's going to look more 3D this way. Now I'm going to take the lighter one of the deep combo. I'm kind of going along this curve there. And then I'll go around. I'm going to go ahead and color this whole thing so you can see what it looks like. And now I'm going to go over where those two shades meet and going over the dark a little bit again. And that's kind of gradual. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't in the video. But it's nice, gradual. This looks a little darker, so it looks a little more 3D, and then it lightens up as there's light hitting inside the back of the birdhouse. So I forgot to do this. I went ahead and did this that way on this one too. Put a little dark here, the darkest one, and then I'll take the lighter one and color it in. Okay, so that is how you color it. I will show you the finished one here in just a minute. I decided not to color this middle one here. I kind of liked it being beige, but you can definitely color that if you want to. Oh, thanks, Crystal. She said she learned a lot from my tips. I'm glad. I had fun kind of coming up with that, with the circle. It worked out pretty good. The other ones I've seen. Randy says, really like how the colors look on the beige. I do too. I'm going to remember to do beige a lot. It's a nice having another neutral to play around with. Okay, I'm going to show you how this I've already got colored on something else, but I colored it exactly like I did this. So I'm not going to bother to do that again. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine. So this is the big one. I can't get the whole thing. Well, I can almost get the whole thing in the screen, but this is the one that you can get 10% off. Also, the mini is 10% off too. So if you've got this, you do the base platform for die cutting, the die plate, and then a standard cutting plate. I'm going to bring these in here. Grab my dies. So this big birdhouse is going to go here. I want to make sure I fill in the opening of this die with the image. So it's right along the border. I'm going to grab a piece of the Post-it tape on both sides to keep it in place. And if you don't have Post-it tape, use Post-it notes and just use the adhesive part of that. Exact same adhesive as this. It's strong enough to hold the die down, but then you can peel it off without tearing up your cardstock. And if you don't know, haven't gotten this tape before, you can find it on Amazon. Just do Post-it tape in the search part. Now this one goes here. And I am so impressed with how the pink just really brightened up and looks pink now. It looked more like a watermark before. I honestly did not know I was going to do that until last week. Okay, I'm just going to use one. That should be enough. Then I need this flower. Got a piece of tape fall down. Oh, there it is. Get that one to fill in the opening. So that's a nice thing with our dies. You don't have to worry about there being you need to have a certain kind of border around it. You just make sure it's right around that image. It'll make the little border for you. The tape might be in the way, but this can cut through the tape. It's no big deal. You put that. Oop, I forgot to color. I need to take the lemon lolly. He needs some beaks. You could actually keep it without coloring it in. Kind of an angle, so hopefully I'm going to color it in good. So I'm just doing the beak and sorry, I'm right up against the microphone. I hope it's not getting too loud. There we go. Almost forgot. So that's with lemon lolly. I just use the dark. And then I'm going to get him on there. Now I'm going to get another standard cutting plate to put on top. Run this through. And yes, I have new plates. Well, actually, the bottom one, the way I do mine, once the bottom plate is all cut up like crazy, I will take the one I've been using as a top plate. It becomes my bottom plate, and then I grab a new one. I have found that makes my plates last a lot longer when I do that. And I like to have the top plate without any cuts in it because I can see what I'm doing a lot better. So that is, but don't worry, that's how you die cut it. But with the magic of television, there we go. That's the one I have all done. So that's what it's going to look like when you get all done coloring it. I had fun coloring that. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the stamped birdhouse, but once you color it in and use that wood grain is what makes it so cool. Now, if you're going for more of a cartoony look, then now you don't need to mess with the wood grain, but I just think that makes it look really cool. Okay, now I'll grab these little guys. Oh, hi, Dottie. A demo from Lincoln. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're enjoying it too. Okay, so we got that one done. And I'm trying to get my dies put away. Don't want to lose them. And we've got this one here. There's my birdie. Isn't he cute? He's a cutie pie. And then we've got one more flower here. Oh, come on. There we go. So there's that flower. I always take the tape off again because I always want to be able to see the whole opening of the die when I want to use it again. So as you see, if you get the card kit, you still have a little bit of cardstock there. So I'm making sure you have plenty to be able to get all that done on that one piece. Okay, so I can put this out of the way. Start putting this together. I'm going to grab, oh, and I also wanted to show you, this is what the inside looks like after you color it in too. Because sometimes I will just stamp an image, but this was just so much of an outline and not a lot of detail. I thought it looked better coloring it in. So I just colored it in just like I did on the front. And you can tell the difference. It's a little bit brighter, oops, than the one on the white because I decided to use basic white on the inside. So that shows you the difference. So if you want it brighter looking, you want to use white cardstock. But if you like the more muted color, which I think looks really neat, That's what it looks like on the beige. So that's the difference. Okay, so grab the card base. This is Petal Pink, 5.5 by 8.5. Now line those corners up. Oh, I just saw another door prize pop up. Hi, Sharon Cooper. Glad you're here. Not sure if I've seen your name before, but that doesn't mean you haven't been here. Sometimes I get to working and I miss some comments. Oh, there it is. It's like, where'd my bone folder go? Okay, this is a landscape card, so I'll make sure I have my fold on the top. I'm going to grab this piece that I did a minute ago, stamp the greeting and did all that splatter on there. This is a piece of the Country Lace. This is 5 1/4 by 1.5. This is actually the only piece of the DSP I'm using this time. This looks cool too, but I really liked having the same because this is more of the basic beige color, and I just liked having that on there. I think it looked good. But there's so many really pretty designs in this paper. And I didn't think to bring the paper over here to show you. I can't remember if I've showed it in the video before. I think I have. I think when I did the Country Flowers class, I showed it then. And there is a link to that video down below in the video description on YouTube. On Facebook, whenever I bring up a link, click that Learn More button at the top, and you'll find all the links there. So if you're wanting to find out more about my card class at home, to get the host code and all the information, and even a link to my online store on YouTube, just look down the video description and click on the card class at home link. On Facebook, click the Learn More, and then click on the one that says Get Free Stuff when you order from me. I think is what I titled it on that one. I almost forgot to tell you. I usually tell you that at the beginning and forgot. But any other links that I mentioned, they're named the same on YouTube in the video description and under the Learn More button on Facebook. Okay, where did I put my seal? Oh, there it is. I'm curious to see if this is going to make it through the class. I've got another one here with me. It's almost gone too, but I did bring a refill in case I need to do that. Okay, I'm going to put this right here. Oh, thanks, Cindy. I'm glad you're liking my ideas. Robin and Trenna. Well, Robin definitely saw me making these. She was sitting with me. Trenna was over in a group next to us. But I was having a lot of fun making these. Okay, I've got paper hanging over the edge here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. All right, now I'm going to take that ribbon. I'm going to take the longer one. This is a 7-inch ribbon. I'm going to take my tear and tape. This is how I like to wrap a ribbon around. I'm going to take a piece here. And I can't remember who, because it's been so long ago. I used to hold it on my finger here, and it was really awkward. She said, put it on your thumb, and it'll stay out of your way, and it is perfect. So just put it on your thumb or down here, and it stays out of your way as you put this on your card. So I'm covering up the top edge of the DSP, turn this over, and then I'll take the tape, make sure it's pushed down really well, and then I turn it back around, make sure I'm getting it on there straight, and just wrap it around, make it a little tight, more taut than tight, because you don't want the cardstock to start bowing in the middle, start curling. Just make sure the cardstock stays flat. Okay, that is just about ready to go. I forgot we want to put on the birdhouse first. So I've got this. I'm going to turn this over. And I'm just using seal on this one because I'm going to pop the bird up with dimensionals this time. Doesn't this look cool on the back too? That looks pretty cool. If you want that kind of a look, you could use the back. Now I'm going to put this on. Part of it is going to be hanging off the edge. I want to make sure I put it to the left of my greeting and centered up and down. I'm kind of looking down here at the bottom to make sure that looks straight, and it does. So go ahead and put that down. I'm going to take my paper snips, turn this over, and any part of the birdhouse that's hanging over, just cut that off. That piece is sticking. Let me get that off of there. And then I'll clip this one off. Oops, there we go. So that is ready to go, I do believe. Yes. So let's go ahead and put this on the card base. Oh, come on. There we go. A little bit here in the corners here too. And I want to take that paper backing off of here again. And what I do, I go in between the ribbon and the end of the adhesive and kind of jiggle this. That makes it so I just take the paper off. I used to do it from the end over here, and I've almost always brought up the paper And you definitely don't want to do it near the ribbon because you definitely will. I mean, I got the adhesive, not just the paper. When I do it in between, I usually just get the paper, which is what I'm going for. So this is going to go, make sure that folds on top. Put this on. Okay. Now when I bring in those flowers and the bird, might as well, since I've got him out, I'm going to put this large one on first. I'm going to grab my silicone mat, put some adhesive on here. And I'm going to be really careful with this flower here. You could use a glue dot too if you wanted to. I just didn't want to rip this because it's kind of really thin right there. And I'm going to put this down kind of like so. I'm going to put it underneath the ribbon just a little bit. And maybe move it over just a little bit. I kind of liked it more on the side, not right in the middle. Now I'm going to take this little guy, put adhesive on here. I can lift this up a little bit here on this end. And then I can tuck this underneath. So I'm kind of making like a little bouquet. Okay, so that is ready. I'm going to take this 4-inch piece. I'm going to thread it underneath the ribbon that's already attached. And I'm going to tie it on with just a single knot. The single knot, it'll stay, and it also makes it so that knot looks nicer. If I do a double knot, that knot's not going to look good anymore. And I'm going to kind of tug the ends, hold on to my knot, and tug those ends down a little bit. Grab my paper, my scissors, I mean. Oops, put that in the wrong dish. Trim them so they're about the same size and at an angle. And I can kind of scoot this over a little bit if I want it more in the center, which I do. That's another nice thing of doing it this way. You can still scoot that up and down the piece. Oh, thanks, Becky. I'm glad you're liking it so far. Now, got our little birdie. I'm going to turn him over. I want him popped up with dimensionals. So I'm going to put one full one here where his head's at. And then I'm going to take my snips and cut off one of the ones on the edge and use this half one. And it can go right there. I didn't think, I was afraid he'd start wobbling. So that's why I did it that way. Oops. I'm flinging stuff everywhere. My putty came off. Okay. And then the bird, I decided to put right here, looking towards the flowers. Okay, we might as well put the inside in. So I'm going to bring this back in. And this will be the inside of the card. Oh, thanks, Romaine. I'm glad you're liking it. There we go. I've been having so much fun with my new annual catalog stuff. And yesterday I just got new stuff from the online exclusives that are coming out for customers in July. But as demonstrator, I was able to get it this month. So hopefully I can start making stuff for that pretty soon. But I'm still having fun with the annual catalog. That just started. So I've got this here. I need to do, okay, I've got the inside done. Just talk myself through it sometimes. Bring in my gems again. This time I'm going to use the light gold. And I'm going to do 2 each size with this one too. So I'm going to grab a big, one of the large light gold ones and put one here. I'm going to grab another large gold one. Put it down here. Now a small one. And then I thought I'd put a small one. That's why I didn't color this flower because I thought I'd put one right there. I liked the way it looked on the first card, so I did that way. So that is the second card. So I hope you like that one. Got one more. So like both of these. Where did I throw the other one? Here it is. Have a lot of the petal pink in them. Pool party on this one. Misty Moon on this one. Now we'll have some pool party in the next one, but no petal pink. And I added a color that's actually not in any of the papers, the lemon lolly, which is what I used on the beak and the feet of the bird. But it still looks really good with this paper because the colors I use don't have any yellows in them, but it looks good. They go together though. You'll see that here in just a minute. Okay, so let's grab this one. Once again, I did all the die cutting for me. You will need to do it yourself if you get the card kits. This is for the bird, so that one I'm going to put to the side because I'll be stamping it. But I did the small flowers. Oh, there they are. So these two, actually right next to each other, these two right here. Let me get a little closer. I did one of these and 2 of those for one card. So if you're doing both cards on this strip, you'll need 2 of these and 4 of these. And this is a piece of lemon lolly. That is, oh, paper moved on me. It is a 4.5 by 3/4. So I was able to get 6 of the small flowers. So 4 of these and 2 of these for both cards. Then this one here is the 2 larger. So this one, get hold of it. And this one. So for one card, you just need 1 of these and you need 2 of these, but then you'll need double that for your second card. And then the bow. So you're going to do the 3 flowers and a bow for each card, and then you've got enough room to do the other one. That is a piece of Pool Party that is a 4.25 by 2.25. No, 2.25. Oh, that's right. Thought I read it wrong. So 4.25 and 2.25 Pool Party. This was done just like I showed you on the first card. You just do the 2 scallops. It's a 2 3/4 inch square piece of smoky slate. This is soft sea foam, 5 by 1.25. 5 is actually longer than you need, but that's okay. But I used both of these leaves and this double leaf right here. So you need 1 each for 1 card. I did not use the one that had the longer stem. So I just used these 2 and this one right here. And that was enough for both of my cards. And don't need to show you that. This is a piece of the Christmas Woods. It's 6 3/4 by 2 3/4. And that is the one with the roof. So that's the thicker of the roof. And then, oops, this bottom piece here. So you'll do 1 of those for 1 card, and then you do another one on the other side for your second card if you do the kits. All right. Oh, 1 more. I thought I was done. And then this is just like the first one, except this time, instead of using the wood, I'm using country lace for the birdhouse. So this is a 7 by 4 inch piece. And once again, you just take, oops, the big birdhouse. And if you want to do them all at the same time, then you would take the circle, kind of line the top of the circle with the roof bottom, and then center it left and right. And that will get you this one right here. That's what it'll look like. Okay, now it's time to start putting this together. I've shown you how to do all the dies. Like I said, I won't do the die cutting with these dies, but these are the pieces you will get in your kit, but there won't be holes. They'll be full pieces. That way you can do the die cutting yourself. And if you're substituting another bundle, you'll have that paper to use with the bundle you're using. Oh, Sharon, good. Yeah, you say you've seen some of my replays, but I'm glad you got to come live. I love my replay people too, but I love it when I get to hear from you during the live. It makes it fun. Okay, so I can get the dies put away. And let's see what I want to do. I think I'm going to start putting let me think here. Nope, let's go ahead and do the card base first. This is Pool Party, 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to line those corners up. There we go. And this one, the fold you do want to have on the left this time, like a normal card. Let's see, I'm trying to read. Oh, good. Jamie, I'm glad me showing you how to do the dies first is helping. I want to make sure I showed you that. It's a little faster than me die cutting it for you, but that way you get to see how it's done at least. I was trying to streamline things so the video doesn't take too long. 4 by 2. Yeah, 4 by 2. This is another one, just stripes. This is probably smoky slate and basic gray together. This one I almost used, but it's so faint. I bet you can't even see the design. So that's why I decided to go with the gray. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And this is going to go on the lemon lolly piece I haven't shown you yet, but you can see it up in the top. I did that eyelet folder with it again. So this is lemon lolly, 4 by 5.25. Love lemon lolly. It is such a pretty yellow. Daffodil Delight's nice too, but it's a little darker. I just really like this light yellow. It's gorgeous. So this is just going to go right along the bottom. Oh, not too long this time, so that's good. Now, like I said, in your kit, you're going to get a 12-inch piece. Just fold it in half and cut it. But this is a 6-inch piece I already had, and I didn't want to waste it. I'm going to grab my tear and tape. Oh, there it is. I amaze myself sometimes. I actually put it away. Sometimes I don't put it away, so I start looking everywhere else but where it's supposed to be. Okay, get some tear and tape, put that on my thumb. Do the same thing I did on that first card. Just cover up the very tip top of the paper, DSP. Get that tearing tape on there. Bring this around. Make sure it looks straight. And put that on, making sure it's taut. It's wrapped around nice and tight, but not too tight. Like I said, you don't want it going like this or going like this because you did it too tight. Okay, now I do not want to put this on the card base yet. So I'm going to put this to the side because we're going to be clipping off a little thing at the top again. So I'm going to start putting together this pretty one. This one's a little more dainty looking because I didn't know if I'd like the lace look with the birdhouse, but it's going to look really cool when we're all done. And I use that light wood that's in there. That's for the roof and the base. So once again, I'm going to turn this over. I went back and forth. I almost did the dark too. So if you get the card kit, you could do one dark and one light. But I ended up I think I like the light a little bit better. So I'm going to take some glue here. Just do that little strip right across here. If I can get it going again. There we go. The end might be a little bit too, I had to push a little too hard to get it to get going. I think I'm going to tap a little bit off. There we go. Bring this in. Get that lined up and scoot it until I get it right where I want it. So I'm kind of looking down here, making sure it lines up down here too. There we go. Now put some pressure on it so it's glued on there good. I'm going to bring this one in. Get this on here. I love both of these DSPs. The wood is really, we've had wood packs before, but I really, really, really like this one. I think it's because it's 12 by 12 and you can get bigger pieces out of it. We had another good wood grain one that was 6 by 6, but this one's a 12 by 12 pack and I really like it a lot. So there we go. We've got that ready to go. Oh, while I'm at it, I could use glue around this. I'm just going to use my seal. The reason I did it is sometimes I still put too much glue on, and when I put this on, I didn't want glue to ooze out the front here. So this is a 1 1/4 square of basic gray. Just cover up that hole. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as the hole's covered up. And there we go. Now I need the scallop. This time I'm only going to use the scallop roof. I'm not going to use that little thin die that goes across here because I kind of liked it just like this. But, oh, I almost forgot. I'm not going to go ahead and get my statement pierced mat. I can use this silicone mat for stamping. There is this really neat stamp, if I can find it. There it is. That does a little scallop kind of border. And it's 1, 2, 3, 5 that goes right along with the 5 scallops here. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. And that was one of the reasons I didn't use that little thin one as a border, because I wanted this to show better. So being photopolymer, I can see through the stamp and just get those scallops, get those right inside the scallops. There we go, just like that. And then I'm going to do the other side. Get them lined up in the scallop and then bring the stamp down. Oops. Not perfect, but that looks good enough to me. And you don't get any scallop up here, but that's okay. I think it looks fine that way. Plus, I'm going to be putting a little bow up there, so nobody's going to see it anyway. Now I want to put this on. I would not have been happy if I'd forgotten to do that because I want to show you how to use that stamp. And I think that scallop design goes along with my dainty birdhouse. So I'm going to put this right up against the bottom of that roof. That glue's making it so I can slide it to where I need it. Okay, now I'm going to push it down because I got it right where I want it. So there we go. Doesn't that make the scallop look neat with those stamped images on there? I like that. Okay, what else do I need? Oh, I need to start making flowers. So let's put this to the side. Now, this time I'm doing double. They're going to be 2 layers of flowers on each flower. We're going to have 3 flowers when we're all done. So I made the smaller flowers the yellow because I want those to be like the flower centers. And that's why I did the larger 2 dies for the pool party flowers. I'm going to turn the yellow one over, and I'm going to match the design with the design. So the ones that look similar are the ones you're going to want to stack. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. You could use glue dots too if you want. I'm going to go ahead and just use a little bit of glue, mainly here in the center, because if I do want to pop it up a little bit, I can. And I can definitely use glue dots. That would definitely work. I kind of still using the glue because that way I can kind of maneuver this a little bit until I get it where I want it. Oh, thanks, Meyer. I'm glad you're liking it. Now I'm going to have the petals of this go in between the big petals. There we go. And I'll bring this a little closer so you can definitely see it. And I can scoot it a little bit and then push down when I'm ready for it, when I've got it where I want it. So that's what that flower is going to look like. So I'll hurry up and do the other one. Looks just like it. Get a little bit of glue. It's a little bit too much. Then I'm going to get those petals in between again. Hold it down. Oops, get back here. Now I'm going to take the rounded flower petals. Get more in the center. Kind of made a little dot and then kind of squished it around with the tip of this to make it so it wasn't such a glob too. And once again, this is going to have the petals in between, the small petals in between the large petals. Hold that down when you've got it where you want it. And that's what that flower is going to look like when it's done. Okay, I'm going to bring in my birdhouse. I think I want to do this right now. Let me think. Nope, I think I'm going to put this on that yellow piece first. I'm going to put these to the side. I think it's going to be a little easier to do it this way. So I don't want to grab the card base just yet. I just want this. So I'm going to put this on with seal, or I can use my glue if I wanted to too. Once again, I'm going to pop up the bird. I didn't want to pop up both. It's going to be a little too thick when putting in an envelope. So this one is going to go pretty much right in the middle, like so. Lay it down, get it straight. That looks good. So I'm going to push that down. Now I want to grab that little bow that I die cut out of that petal pink pool party. Get my silicone mat again. Now this one is the center part. You can definitely put some glue on. I'm going to still put a little bit here on this. You know what I'm going to do? I think this is going to be easier. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. It's not real thick, but now I can take this and the thin pieces I can kind of just brush through, and that'll give me just enough glue on there that now it's going to stick. It's not going to ooze out. Now that center of the bow, I want to cover up that empty spot in the scallop part of the roof. Bring this down. That looks good. So now I can push that down. Not too much is hanging off this time, just a little bit of my string. So cut that off. Now I can put this on the card base now that I've cut that the top of that bow off. So bring this back in. Put some seal on here. And I take that paper backing off the tear and tape. And when you're working with an embossed piece, try to find a spot of the cardstock that's not embossed. It's a little easier to get that paper backing off. That's another thing. If you get inside one of the grooves in the paper, then you'll probably end up pulling up the adhesive too. There we go. I just kept moving until I found a good spot. Now this will go right here in the middle. My friend Robin helped me with the colors of the flowers. It took me forever to figure out what flowers I wanted to put on. Just Lemon Lolly didn't look right, and just Pool Party didn't look right. She mentioned the yellow ones. That's right. I was going to do Pool Party. I thought it was too much Pool Party. And then she mentioned the yellow ones, and then I didn't even think about doing yellow flowers. And then I thought, oh, let's see what they look like both. So it's both of us working on it to figure out what flowers looked better. So I'm going to grab. Let me think here how I want to do that. Okay, this big one right here. First, we're going to put leaves on. Get ahead of myself. So I'm going to do the leaves just like we did with the first one. So these are the 3 that I did out of that smoky slate, soft sea foam. I'm getting all the colors mixed up tonight. Take one of the little ones. And I'm going to put the glue on the 2 Pool Party petals that are right next to each other. Make it like a little V. And then take one of the smaller leaves. Make sure it's upright. There we go. When you die cut these, you can tell which is the side that's a little rougher, is the back. I want the good side to be facing up. Those are the 2 petals that have the glue on it. So I'm going to hold this in so I know which ones have the glue. Hold that down. I don't see any stems, so I don't need to cut that off. And it doesn't matter which petals you choose because the petals all are the same. Okay. I'm going to hold the opposite petal again so I know it's on the other end. Grab my leaf, put this down. Oh, once again, I don't have any stem showing. Yay. Don't know how I did that. Once again, pool party again, put it on, make my little V. Bring this guy in. And this is so thin right here. Make sure your leaves are kind of separated. Sometimes I pick it up and it's they're too close together. So try to get them back the way they were when they're die cut. Hold that down. No stem showing, so I don't have to cut that off. So those flowers are ready to go. The big one, I decided to pop up with a dimensional. So I'm going to just put it right here in the middle. And that's plenty big enough. Take the paper backing off. And this one I'm going to put on here, down here at the bottom, and kind of have the leaves out this way. I'm just going to lay it down in case I want to move it. And then these little ones, I'm going to put glue on here again. Glue dots work too. I'm going to put this flower down here, just going to tuck underneath this one. And this one is going to go tuck underneath a little bit, but above the other little one. I'm going to have the leaf go up a little bit so I can get it up on the birdhouse a little bit. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to go push them all down. It's easier to put the dimensional one down first. Since this is raised up, I was able to tuck those in and just made it so I knew exactly where I wanted to put those. Okay, done with the glue. Where's my little birdie? I had him somewhere. Oh my goodness, I need my bird. I know I die cut him a minute ago. Oh, what did I do with the bird? I might have to show you the original. Oh, I didn't even stamp him. My goodness. Okay. I'll have to bring the die cutting machine back in, but that's okay. So there we go. I can't believe I forgot to stamp him. So I'm going to clean him up. See, Romaine says, thanks for the tips. I'm glad those help. Love the tip about gluing the leaves. Oh, good. I always try to figure out the easiest way to do it. Sometimes it's trial and error, and then I finally figure it out. So this time I'm going to use basic gray. I cleaned him off since I'd used him early espresso. I had more browns on the last card. This one has more grays. So I'll stamp him. And I love, a lot of time, back when I first got Stampin' Dimensionals, I always used our Tuxedo Black Memento, which is what I use a lot. But with our classic pads being water-based also, I love that we can use our Stampin' Blends with our classic ink pads too. But I didn't want a real dark outline, so the basic gray looks really good. So I'm going to do my pool party again. He's going to be exactly the same color, except this time he's getting colored on white, so he'll be a little bit brighter than the other one was since it was on basic beige. I'm going to color it the same way, get a little shadow there at the bottom of his wing. A little bit on those lines. Oh, a little bit on this line too. That was my dark pool party. Grab my light pool party. Color him in. Now, I'm intentionally not going over his eye with the pool party. If you do, it's not that big a deal, but there is a little white circle in there from the stamp, so it almost looks like the pupil of his eye, so I'm trying to keep that a little white. But if you color over it, no big deal. I doubt anybody will notice. So I'm going to color him all in. I'm going over the dark with the light to get those blended. I can't remember if I said this. Make sure you use light strokes whenever you use our blends. That'll protect your tip. Plus, I think it blends better. Kind of makes it, you're using it like a brush tip. Now I'm going to grab my lemon lolly. I'm going to do the dark again. Do the beak. Do his little feet or claws. There we go. Now this is the only thing I need to die cut here for this card tonight because I already did all the birdhouse pieces. Bring this in. Oops, get my sandwich right here. Here's my bird die. We are almost done with this class. Put this on. Oh, little static cling going there. There's my little birdie. This out of the way. And once again, I want to pop him up with dimensionals again. So I'm going to turn him over and do the same thing I did with the last card. Oops, wrong ones. Picked up the minis by accident. There we go. Put a regular sized one near his head and then cut off one of these half ones. And I always cut these while they're still on the paper backing. It just makes it easier to work with and they don't stick to your scissors. There we go. That should be good. Get that paper backing off. Bring the card back in. And I'm going to put the bird right here. Okay. And the inside, what did I do on the inside? Oh, that's right. I did the bird on there too. So let's need to grab the basic gray again. You could just stamp them in Pool Party if you want to also. Good, he stamped good. I forgot to grab my mat, but that still did good. When there's more detail, I definitely want to use my Pierce mat with photopolymer, but since it's not a big detailed one, that worked just fine. Grab my Pool Party again. You're going to know exactly how to color this bird here since I've done it. This is the third time I've done it in this class. At least he goes on pretty quick. Do the light Pool Party. And he's looked different each time because I do my dark. I think I've done it different each time. Get him all colored in. It's funny. Like I said, a lot of times I don't color the inside images that I stamp on the inside of my card. I just do it in a color. But since this is more of an outline stamp set, I think it looks a little better colored in. Then grab those lemon lollies. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I'm glad you're liking them. Get that lemon lolly. Like I said, I'm not worrying if I get out of the lines because you really can't tell when she die. Well, even though I'm not die cutting it, it still looks fine. Okay, now I can put this on the inside of the card. He's ready to go. And then I just need to put the bling on the outside and this card will be done and the class will be done. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Okay, so we've used the copper and the light gold. Now I need to use the silver. So I'm going to grab a large silver. I'm going to do 2 each size again. I'm going to do the big one here in the center of the bow. I thought I just needed a little something. This large flower here is going to get the large silver. And then the 2 small flowers will get the 2 small silver gems. There we go. You can tell I like those gems on the center of those flowers. Oh, I'm going to sit down. My back was getting tired. I was afraid I hurt my sciatica started acting up again right before the video. Oh, thankfully, my stretches that I've learned help so much. Didn't have any trouble. I was really afraid I was going to tonight. Okay, so there are all the cards. Hope you guys enjoyed those. They all look just a little bit different. But you can come up with so many different birdhouses. You don't have to use that DSP. Stamping it, do whatever color. I mean, it just unbelievable all the different birdhouses you can make. I've seen a bunch of different birdhouses other people have made. But you definitely want to get that Country Woods, well, Country Lace too, but that Country Wood DSP has so many neat wood grain images that would look really good with this. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I'm glad you're liking them. Oh, thanks, Gladys. Your number 2 is your favorite. Good. I'm glad you like that one. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the gem. Yeah, Crystal, you're talking about the gems. Yeah, they really do make them pop, make those flowers pop. They just finish them off perfect. Okay. Let me see if I have to move my camera again. I nudged it. The one for me was chopping off my head. There we go. Not chopping off my head now. Oh, thanks, Patty. I'm glad you like all of them. And Paula. Oh, I didn't put a greeting on that card, did I? I forgot to stamp the happy birthday. I wonder if I can still get that on there. My flowers, you know what? I'll just put it in a different spot. Thank you, Paula. I will show you my original one. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. I will make this work. This happy birthday is kind of narrow, so I can just put it here on the bottom piece. So on my original, I probably put the flowers up a little bit higher. There we go. But that works too. I forgot to change the screen and you just saw my stomach. There we go. So I did this in Misty Moonlight and stamped the birthday right there. So let me grab my original. So what you're going to want to do once you put this on the birdhouse, that last piece, stamp the happy birthday, and then add your flowers and your bird. That's not bad. That's the only thing I forgot this time. But thanks, Paula. I'm so glad you said that. I totally forgot. You guys helped me out a lot. Oh, thanks, Randy. I'm glad you're liking them. Okay, so I'll keep the original out. So that still works if you forget, like I did, to put your happy birthday on there. You can still get it done here at the bottom if the flowers are a little too low. Okay, there we go. That looks much better. And I think there's one other greeting I did not use. Let me look at the stamp. Nope, there were just 3, and I used all 3 of them. That's right. I didn't use the little chain, so you can even have a little chain for the top instead of a bow. And these 2 little small flowers I didn't use, but I used everything else. Okay, now I can come back to me. Okay, good. Thanks, Paula. I totally forgot the happy birthday on there because I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to show how you could stamp a greeting on that light wood design too. Okay. Oh, good, Patty. I'm glad I inspired you to make some cards. I'm glad. Okay, let's go ahead. We need to get ready for a door prize. So those of you that weren't on at the beginning, let me explain it to you. If you live in the United States and want to be part of the door prize, then make sure you comment #door prize. Type it in just like you're seeing. Let me see if I can get my finger right where it needs to be, right there. I'm looking over my screen. Type it in exactly like that. It's #door prize, no spaces, all small letters. That way, the program that I use that picks out the door prize winner here at the end of the live will pick up your comment. So if you already did it at the beginning of the video, you're in the drawing. So those of you that came in late and haven't done that yet, make sure you do that #door prize. Oh, thanks, Robin. I figured you'd like the yellow one better. I'm glad you like. Plus, you helped me out on that one. Oh, thanks, Julie. I'm glad you liked them. Oh, Paula says she likes all of them. Hard to pick a favorite. Good. I would love to hear that. I love when you have favorites too. I'm just glad you guys like them. So I'm going to wait a couple more minutes because sometimes, like I said, there's always quite a delay at these. As I'm talking, you probably won't hear almost a whole minute later. So I want to make sure everybody that wasn't on at the beginning, that hasn't done the #door prize, make sure you do that. So if I don't see any pop up here in a minute, then I'll go ahead and do the door prize drawing. And while we're at it, while people are doing that, let me show you. I'll go ahead and keep the cards out just in case. Let me find the door prizes. There we go. I'm going to show those off because those of you that came in late wouldn't have seen them yet. Okay. So everybody here during the live that lives in the United States and has commented #door prize will get in the drawing for these. These retired probably 2 or 3 years ago. This has been a little while. I'm surprised I still had these, but they are so cool. I've never used them. This pack anyway. Adhesive-Backed studs are what they're called. But it's got this nice little matte silver and black. I'm not sure what the top ones look like. Oh, you can kind of see them there. Okay, you can. Diamond. So it's diamond, circle, and these long ones right here. So everybody that does the #door prize here tonight will be in the drawing for this one. Then everybody that did it during the live and during the replay. So like I said, you have to live in the United States, though. Do the #door prize in your comments, even during the replay, and you get put in the drawing for this. And I will draw the winner of this. This is the opaque faceted gems. These were part of Celebration last year, and I think this is my last pack, so I thought I'd give these away. So that's do the #door prizes. Everybody does the replay and the live. And this is the one that's for just everybody that's watching live here tonight. So I haven't seen any #door prices pop up. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get that going here. Always have trouble finding it. There we go. Okay, get ready. I think all the #door prizes are in. So let's start. See who the winner is. Hannah! So I will get that mailed out to you. That's one of my local people around here. She lives in Martinsville. Let me find my pencil. Congratulations, Trina. I don't even have to put your last name down. I know that one. So go ahead and get this. I always forget. I still need to turn this thing off. There we go. So Trina, congratulations. You got those. Okay, so remember, those of you watching the replay and live in the United States, you can still get in on this door prize, and you have until noon next Thursday, which will be, let me look at my calendar here, the 20th. So noon Eastern time, June 20th, you have to put hashtag door prize in to get put in this drawing. And this drawing will happen in the beginning of next week's video. Okay. Well, I think that's another wrap for a class. See, a bunch of congratulations. I'm so glad all of you got to come here tonight. And like I said, I'll be back again next Thursday and with another class. And if you want, once you get off here and like, oh, I forgot to write that host code down, or if you want a link to the online store, YouTube, just look down below in the video description, find all the links down there. Also to other classes I've done in the past in case you've missed any of those. Now, past classes, the card kits are no longer available, of course. These are available until next Wednesday, June 19th. I forgot to tell you that. So that's when you need to get your order placed by the end of the day. I just say by the end of the day. If it's Pacific time, midnight Pacific time is fine, if that's where you're at, because I will place the order probably the next morning. So just make sure you get it in by the end of the day, next Wednesday, June 15th, and you can get the card kits. Let me show you the card kits real quick. I knew I was forgetting something. I always like to show that again one more time for those of you that missed the beginning of the video. So if you place your order using that host code that you see at the bottom, $40 order before shipping and tax will get you the card kits to make 2 each of the cards I made here tonight. If you bump it up to a $50 order before shipping and tax using the host code, you'll get a full pack of the Adhesive-Backed Metallic Gems. And make sure you check the total before shipping and tax, because I don't want you to miss out on getting these. So it's $40 before shipping and tax and $50 before shipping and tax using that host code you see there on the screen. And if you place a big order that's like $150 or more before shipping and tax, take that host code off. That way you'll get all of these, and you'll also get the Stampin' Rewards. If that host code's on there, you'll lose your Stampin' Rewards. I don't want you to miss that. So $150 order before shipping and tax, take that host code off. You'll still get all my goodies. Plus, you'll get free goodies from Stampin' Up. So I didn't want you to miss out on that. And these are the 3 cards in case you came in just now. And if you did, then you can watch the replay as soon as this is over. Okay, that is it. And I did forget to say, link down below. It says card class at home link on YouTube. On Facebook, click the learn more button and click on the one that says get free stuff from me when you order from me. I think is what I put down. Okay, I think I remembered everything. It's hard to remember everything I need to tell you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the class. I hope you can come back again next week. Bring a friend and have a great week, guys. Bye. And good Father's Day. Bye.